Alright. Let's get this show on the road. We're doing a live UFO, UAP, Skywatch tonight. We're looking out for potential UFO, potential UAP flying around in the night sky live over Wiltshire in the UK. And as you can see, we are tracking some movement up there in the night sky. So lots of lovely colours. But the moon is up quite bright, so that is getting in the way a little bit. We can't see all the stars we normally can. But the sky is still alive. So let's keep our eyes peeled for the movement. It's not tracking this one over here though, is it? Should we zoom in, see if we can see this one? Oh look, that one is bang on. Look, it's right getting that tracking there. 14.5 kilometers a second. So that is roughly a low Earth orbit, that object there. And we're looking out for it to do something strange, something a satellite just can't there. Stop dead, shoot off at speed, or something like that there. We're early tonight, Ben, we are. But it was dark. Oh, there's a plane coming over the bottom of the screen there. Oh, and there's two me's on the screen. Hold on. What's that about? Give me 2 seconds, guys, and I will fix that. You don't want 2 me's. One is bad enough there. Let me fix that one. And there we go. That's the correct version for you there. Why is there 2 of you, Ben? Oh, you spotted it. Damn, it got away just quickly then. But yeah, so we are looking out for the strange and anomalous. Now, this object here hasn't successfully tracked. Odd. Yeah, that's one word for it. So it's off there. So it's highlighted it red as if it could be anomalous, but that is just a flaw with the tracking. So how you doing there, Harko and Kate? Good to see you guys. M to the C is in. So yeah, look, there's a strange object there. That is a plane. This one here just leaving by the top of the screen there now. Look, there's more movement over here. It's not successfully tracked this one though. Let's move it into the middle of the screen. There we go. So we're looking to see them do something strange. Something a satellite just cannot do there. Stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory, anything like that. And we've got one at the top of the screen. Let's bring that into shot. Now, so keep your eyes on them. Keep following them because it is that strange movement, the anomalous behaviour that will tell us if it's a satellite or if it is something strange there. Through houses in, how are you doing? Lovely clear sky tonight. We've got the tracker on. It's still learning. It's going to take a while there. Oh, mate, you know what? I've got so many messages behind at the minute. I was helping Mum move today, so I'm very tired. Oh, no worries for Maya. I hope she's feeling better. I'll have to message her in a bit then. But yeah, guys, you're just joining us. We are doing a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. All right, where all of the action is happening. So keep your eyes on the skies there and look for the anomalous movement there. Strange flashing will also do it there as well. But that's what we're doing tonight. So we're on a little bit early. We want to catch the darkness, the clear skies for as long as we possibly could tonight. Harko as well, thank you for the gift, appreciate that. All goes back in to the stream there. Oh, using another AI there, looks funny, but not. So you have to show us the results of that. What one are you using now, Harko? There, and did you see the moon next to Jupiter tonight? I didn't actually. I mean, I noticed the moon up there and I started swearing because it's a clear night and that moon is affecting our vision, but I didn't notice it next to there. Ah, I've had a love-hate relationship with ChatGPT. It was really, really good. Then they updated it, and now it's rubbish for me. I need to go back and check it there. But let's keep our eyes peeled for that anomalous movement in the night sky there. Hopefully, we're going to catch something strange, something that we cannot explain away by satellite or other object up there. How is everyone's day going? What are we, Wednesday today? I'm losing track. Let's see if we can do all of that. Probably not. Oh, no, that is working. There we go. So, yeah. Oh my god, yeah, no, that is too pricey. A Manus is better. Oh, Manus is 44 a month. That is crazy. That is crazy there. And Ben, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Thank you there. So, how is everyone? How is your week going? What have you been up to? And let us know there whilst we're watching. So, being on a bit earlier and it getting darker a bit later means we should have the activity for a little bit longer there. Not quite long enough to train the tracking, sadly. But we can still see if it works there a bit tonight. Oh, we got one coming in directly behind me, and the tracking is well off on that one. It's trying, bless it. It's a little bit too fast for it. There we go. Look, we can see it's trying. Oh, it's acquired the target, though. It's just not lined it up correctly there. 22, was it 21, 22 kilometers a second there. Well, that would estimate it to be within a low Earth orbit. Let's scroll in a bit there because you can't see it. So the idea with this tracking is that it will identify movement on the screen, and then it will plot the course that it has been on, so a straight line if it's a satellite or anything like that, and then it will use that straight line to predict another straight line out in front of it there, and satellites and objects up there in orbit are falling to Earth in a big circle, so they follow straight lines. Therefore, if it does anything that isn't a straight line, the tracker will go red, as it's doing now, in theory, and highlight us that maybe it is not a satellite. We should pay it more attention. Now, the problem is where it's not getting it quite right, it's therefore setting itself off there. But hey, are learning as we go. How you doing, Carl, as well? Pluto is in as well. Thank you, Harko, there for the roses as well. Where are we? Let's have a look. And doctor's appointments after doctor's appointments there, and a couple of chemists. Oh my god, it's a full-time job in of itself there, Kay. Have any of them got any more positive news? That's what we want to hear. And where are we there? It is Scorpius today in sight. No idea. We're a little bit further around than we normally are. It's got another lock there, guys, because the moon is directly over where we normally point it there. Oh, what? Okay. It can't get any worse. Jesus. Oh. There, and no sweating tonight, I promise. Can you make those promises? I will be soon. If it gets any warmer, I will be there. Lots of movement. It is very, very busy. It's not picking everything up, though, is it? Look. Let's have a look. Look, it's got that one, kind of. Don't know why it thinks that's an error. That hasn't changed. But this one, maybe it's too faint to detect that one. It is missing some. But let's have a zoom in on this one. Why is that one? It stayed pretty straight. So why does it think it is anomalous? Oh, look, another one coming in down the side there as well. Let's zoom out so we can catch that one. It's very faint. Oh, and another one down here. Let's bring this one into range. So it's important that we keep our eyes on them, even if they have acquiring target. Even if they have just been straight across the screen so far, you never know when that might change there. We are asking ET to realise he's left the gas on and do an interstellar handbrake turn right on the screen. There we go. Look at that. Nice colours to some of the stars tonight as well. Even though the moon's up, we are still seeing all of the purples and the reds and the oranges there. Where are we? Nothing fun or interesting, but essential. Essential nonetheless. How are we doing, Paul, as well? Good to see you there. Adam, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those. All going back into the stream. Distracted by all the movement there. And it is a lot of movement, Carl. Where's my cursor gone? Let's move it across. I don't like it actually having across 5 different screens there. Adam is in. Get this, I have a congenital polycystic kidney disease. It's a mouthful. What does that... Is that less or more of a risk than you're talking about the next stage there? I mean, it sounds bloody awful. Oh, that one's come across quite well, hasn't it? Look, it's aligned itself up with that now. So, and it's estimating a 14-15 kilometers a second there, a bit slower than some of the others, but still, it reckons low Earth orbit for that one as well. We're still training it. It's got a way to go. But the more nights of clear skies where we can train it, the more chance we have of improving it. But it's not too bad. Interesting to see if this one does go red, if it sets itself off there. Don't mention the prince. It's quite fantastic. Thank you, Pluto. We had it a bit last year, but there we go. It's decided to go red. I don't know why it's doing that. It's given itself a second detection and then confused itself. We will get there eventually there. Nice music project. That is it. That's the name of the track there, Harko. And Dr. Freakster there. How many satellites in the sky today? A hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. I think when we last counted, and that was about a year ago, coming up to a year, it was 14,500. So it's what's it going to be with SpaceX? 15, 16,000 of those objects up there, not to mention the odd bit of space junk as well. And that's why we're trying to track them. Because when we get on, it is closer to just getting dark there. The skies are even busier. They are alive. We've had it where there's been 14 or more objects on the screen. So we need a way to help us filter out easier the ones that are doing something strange. Oh, okay, there was some anomalous flashing. Let's have a look. Can we bring this one in? See if it flashes again. So I just caught a nice big flash around here. Let's see if it repeats there. Keep your eyes on this part of the skies there to see if we get that repeated flash. just behind the goal there. Might be off screen for you guys slightly. There, and it means from birth then. I had this whole life and knew nothing. Well, hopefully then... Oh, we've got another object is tracking. Hopefully, Cat, and I don't know if this is how it works at all, but if you've lived with it for this long, hopefully it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to progress. Hopefully, especially now that you're managing it as well. But what a rough ride there. Harco coming with the stickers. Thank you for those there. It means your parents carried the genes. And did they have kidney problems there? Not a single person in my family. What the? And Wibbly, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And do you know how many satellites per hour that are visible? Oh, that is satellites per hour. That's a good metric we should track. It's a hell of a lot, and even if we're not seeing them, that is just because then the sun has gone around a little bit more in the night sky there, preventing that light from being reflected back to us. So they're still up there, even if we can't see them. But it does look a bit like Star Wars, doesn't it? All the lasers across the screen are there. What happened is the assist started to get too big and too many, causing... Oh, God. So that was the cause of it. Oh, God. There. Hyper now. I hit the wall with... There's got to be... There's got to be something. There's got to be... I never trust them when they say that there isn't. There's got to be with these things. So, guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing a live UFO, UAP, Skywatch tonight. And we are looking out to the skies alive for the strange and anomalous. We are based in Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So these skies have a long history with the phenomena. A long history of the highly strange there. Can I actually record this one? Because, see if we can... Sorry guys, just want to hit the record on that, and then I can use that for training data. Yes, a long history of the weird and wonderful in these skies. So pay attention, there's lots of movement, but we need to filter out the explainable from this, from the not so explainable. When it does happen, we tend to see something odd, something that doesn't fit the bill of a satellite, normally once per stream there. The skies are much more alive than you would think, but let us know in the chat where you're watching from tonight. And also, if you've ever had an strange experience yourself, they would love to hear about that as the night goes on there. I saw the ultrasound and my kidneys are knobbly. Oh dear. That is good there. I've been much better about it now, and it's a case of sticking the restrictive diet. That is still pretty horrendous there, but if you can do it to be able to coast at this stage, right? Kate, that's at the minute, that's there, and then there's opportunities for things once you've got yourself stable and you can look to those things. That everything is progressing so fast that, you know, it can't be too long for these things there. That is a hell of a lot there, Harko, as well. Well done, guys. 2,500 already. Thank you for that. It is the likes, guys, the shares, the tapping away that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. Now, you're seeing the red lines, you're seeing the green lines, you're seeing the white lines across the screen. What that is our new tracking software, and it's still very much in a beta. We are testing it at the second, and it's not getting it quite right. But as we get more nights, clear nights, to train it and to test it, hopefully it will improve, hopefully. But what's happening is that the system is identifying movement in the sky there. It's tracking that movement, it's seeing where it's been, and using the course of where it has been to predict a straight path in front of it, and then follow it along that path. Now, satellites, because they fall into Earth in a big circle there, they don't really change their speed, their trajectory, anything like that, change course, anything like that. So if we monitor it and it does follow the straight path, if you can get them accurate in the first place, then it's probably just a satellite there. But this one, as we can see here, that's very interesting because it's drawn two paths and it's got them both wrong and it's finished them off there. But the idea is that if it's green, then we don't need to pay any attention to it. It is probably just a satellite following a straight, predictable path. But if it goes red, it means it's deviated. Therefore, we need to zoom in on it there. And Carl.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Q for feeding Alan. There. How you doing, Lee, as well? And the aim is to avoid going down and down onto dialysis. That is the goal. It's a good goal at this stage there. But there's got to be something with, you know, with how it is all at the minute. You know, technology and that. Keep in there. And I've got massive respect for you, Sam. Lots of spinning plates for joining. Thank you, Pluto. There's a lot of plates there. I'm not very good at a lot of the things there, but if we do enough, people might think there. But thank you, Pluto. How you doing, X? How you doing? Good to see you in tonight. Are you not got your Tommy Scotland disguise on today? Then Adam, when I was young, I saw a light in the night sky and thought it was a plane until it sped off there. Now, these are the sorts of sightings, aren't they? That you know intuitively it's different. There is something odd about that there. It's not following the normal things. You got plane by default there, and then you see the strange behaviour, and then we are compelled to find an answer for that one. And often it is we join communities like this, we share our stories, and hopefully we kind of piece that puzzle together with it. But it's really in all of the stuff that is coming out now about the UFO UAP phenomena, all of the whistleblowers, all of the accounts, there's very few areas that it feels like we're really fleshing out the details for. Now, there are exceptions. There are a few areas I do think we have started to fill that out. Now, one of them is by the method of propulsion. They're looking at the potential warp drives being used, how that would work, how that would visually look, and therefore, are we seeing evidence of that? Things like that is starting to kind of really dial in the details. But most part, it feels like the phenomena is just getting wider. The more you look, the more strangeness there is there. And I've got a chat coming up about coming off metformin there into insulin instead, and I have another med to start, so things will level out. You will be 100% there, but it's not a fun road. It's a full-time job managing something like this nowadays, so definitely feel the pain of that one. It's difficult, but honestly, there will be something. I don't like it when we get the doctors that they're always like, no, this is it, this is how it always is, this is how I've always seen it go, and they say that, and they say it with such confidence, but that's to the best of their knowledge and filtered through their own bias and their limited experience. They tend to feel there's normally so many more things, and on a totally innocuous equivalent there, like mine has not been, my issues and the neurological stuff has not been life or death at all, so it's not a comparison there. But I was repeatedly told by doctors and specialists every which way for years and years and years that it was many different things, which turned out not to be. And also there's nothing you can do about it, and eventually I had to go private. I can't afford to now, but to get the diagnosis, and basically it was a handful of off-the-shelf medication for other things that kind of sorted out a lot of the symptoms, so it's much more usable, and I can work and do all of those things now. But this is an off-the-shelf. This is a very specialist consultant there, and it's so easy. The doctors see it all of the time. They write it people off as X, Y, or Z. Oh, it can't be changed. It can't be done. And it's like, Jesus Christ, lads. Actually, would a mechanic get away with that? If you go, oh no, your car's fucked. No, you can't. They'll never have any customers. It's always, always worth keeping searching for the solutions there, and don't do it. Don't give up just because they say it there. And Pluto, thank you. Do appreciate it. But it's you guys that really do the work there, coming in with your awesome questions and experiences and keeping me going. I'm fickle as hell, and we've nearly been doing this a year, and the only reason that we're still doing this is because of you guys there. A little bit of accountability. If I go, I'm going to have a night off there, then I feel like I'm letting people down. But it keeps me at it, and it keeps me doing it. Otherwise, this would have lasted a week. So I appreciate you guys keeping me company as we are watching the sky there. Lots of movement still. That one's got a bit faint, but we are tracking some there. And another med to start, so things will level up. Oh, fingers crossed there. How you doing, Skywatch Bubba? Good to see you in there. And 100% as Leanne says, keep us posted. Where is the fucking... And you're always welcome, Kate, when it does give it to rant in here. We're a safe place for you to rant away. Where are we there? Carl coming in with the stickers. And why is the sky so light tonight there? Well, it's the moon is up, Leanne. The moon, if we looked outside there, and that moon is reflecting the sun's light back to us, and it's the same as having a torch on there. It's doing our night vision in. So that's why the sky is looking a little bit washed out tonight. It's not at its best there because our night vision is struggling to see all those stars there. Kate, that is not at all oversharing. Only if it depends on how you feel comfortable with, but we are more than happy to have it in here. You're part of our community, a fundamental part of the community, and we genuinely care. how you're doing there. Lorraine as well, thank you for the share. Appreciate that. It is all the shares and the likes, guys, that helps us reach more and more like-minded people. We've got another tracking one here. There, you're tapping away, guys. It does help. Let's TikTok know that people might like the stream. We can meet more people. You never know who is going to come in and is going to share their account with the phenomena. Tracking's not got it quite right, and it looks like it's trying to do 2 lines, so this one will go red at some point. There, but it is at least getting the movement there. 19 to 20 kilometers a second. Oh, and that one faded out. Yep. There, so that was low Earth orbit. Oh, we've got another one at the top of the screen here for me. Let's have a look here. This one there, what's that doing? It's a little bit, 18 kilometers a second roughly. Low Earth orbit there again. We're hoping, it's a big ask, to do 2 things. So it's a while away yet, but I would not only like to successfully track these ones and, you know, make sure it's accurate, but also it'd be great if it could identify the night sky as well. They're using the stars, and occasionally just pop up with a label of what the stars are. That'd be really cool. And then I see this one's crossed the path, so that one will go red. It didn't get its alignment quite right, but yeah, also track the stars. But then once it knows where it's looking, basically, we should be able to then tell what satellites these are, so we can match them up with the records and go, oh, that's the Russian so-and-so satellite, and also help us if we do get something anomalous. You know, that isn't there, we go, well, it's not listed either. That could help us get more and more confidence in the detections. And Ben there, and Docs blame all of my problems on anxiety, and I can't get help with it for my stomach anyway. Ben, yeah, like that is the easiest go-to, right? And the best one I had for that, I used to be a driver. I drove for 10 years. I drove everything you could imagine, everywhere, all of that. I loved it. Never an issue, never an accident, never a point on my license. I was the best driver you'd ever seen there. Not even joking. And then all of a sudden I started getting these neurological problems. And they kept telling me, you're just anxious. You're anxious about driving. I go, no, driving's really hard now. It's really draining. It's really struggling. I'm getting very stressed by it. I still never had an accident, but they're like, just keep driving. You're just anxious with it. And it turned out that actually I wasn't safe to be driving. I was incredibly dangerous because my reaction speeds were really shit, and they were encouraging me to drive, so I don't drive. I haven't driven in a while now because of that. But yeah, the anxiety catch-all, the NHS's filter processes, it's not like you go to your doctor with your problem and they'll figure out what your problem is. They'll ask you the questions, they'll figure it out. No, what they do is they filter you based on the 4 big ones, you know. So cancer, diabetes, all of those sort of things, heart issues like that. And if you've got one of them, they'll filter you off to the necessary consultant for that one, and they'll pass you down the chain with that, because that's the majority of things they deal with. If you've not got that, right, the flowchart goes anxiety back into the system, and you'll just keep repeating through there. They don't have a process for it. They're not there to fix you. They're there to filter out the big 4, which, you know, hey, that's society, isn't it, there? But normally you get the anxiety because of something. You know, there's something you go, well, I'm anxious now because something's gone. In my case, it was my my reaction speeds and things like that in the car. So no wonder I was anxious about driving. I wasn't safe. That was a correct response. You know, it's like they call it first principles thinking, which is that stop looking at the symptoms and go further down there. What is the cause of the problem? What is the first domino in the chain? Rather than keep whack-a-moling all the fucking symptoms. But our medicine is actually symptom first treatment. They're quite open about this. They just treat the symptoms. They put the plasters on there. They don't do the first bit. It's called functional medicine. No, functional medicine is the one that we want. It's the first principles thinking. What is actually wrong with you, and can we resolve that or help you to resolve that? Because, you know, not everything can be a pill or can be surgery. You have to sometimes, you know, do things on your end and fix other problems, which is fair enough. But yeah, no, it's actually, there's a whole separate branch of medicine called functional medicine. Well, that's... Call me strange, but I would like all of my medicine to be fucking functional, please. There, how you doing, Ion? Sorry, little rant there. And Leanne, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
There, but the point is that there are options. It's difficult road there. Actually, there is always something to be done. Exactly, Kate. That is it. There is always something to be done. Received signs there, at least I believe they are. What is it? Tell us a bit more if you want to, Ion there. Would love to hear about it there, because this is how we all learn, isn't it there? We present the information, our understanding of the phenomena and our experiences together, and hopefully everybody is going to help us refine our understandings there. So Ion might have a bit of information there that, you know, maybe it's an experience, you know, that maybe I've experienced something similar and I hadn't realized, I hadn't made the connection. So it's always important to hear all of these. Another green one seems to be a reasonable good track on that. See if it stays there. And we miss you when you take time off there, but we also need to take time off to recharge there. Kate, I know you guys are actually really, really good with it. Like, everything that people say around being online and how awful people are online and all this sort of stuff, I've not had any of these issues. You know, not worth mentioning at all. You know, like, the community that we have here is just so awesome, and like, I can't believe that we've got it straight out the bat. Like, you guys, you're very, very good with it, and very on many fronts, and supportive in so many ways. Like, this, although sometimes it's tiring, this is my recharging. It's the one time in the day when I can get out of my head and stop overthinking about everything else there. And good evening from Chicago. How is the Windy City, Bubba? Always good to have you in. And Adam as well, coming in with the shares, appreciate that. And Adele there, you made that alive in this caravan. What that is, there we go. We need to do like a passports version too, don't we, to give people like these rarer ones. Like, okay, I've made the stream even though I'm around the other side of the world, or, you know, I'm on a caravan and they've got no signal, but we still made it there. Extra achievement unlocked, I think. It's right there. It's only because a very concerned diabetes nurse started hounding the doctors. So you wouldn't even have got to this stage. So you, even with this level of issue, you would have not been picked up by the process there. As to why this even got infested. Honestly, the horror stories that kids have been dropping since 2023. The amount, and the cardiologist that I went to, the private one, that actually went, oh, here you go, this is it, and here's the drugs, basically, and it kind of just takes it down a little bit. Doesn't solve it, but it makes it easier for me. He is an interesting chappy, and he was telling me this story. Now remember, he's quite a top dog cardiologist. There, I think he's the head of cardiology for York Hospital, and so he was saying that his good friend had a heart attack a few years ago, prior to this conversation, and then he was having some problems, some chest pains a bit later on. So we asked him, being a cardiologist, so he said, look, you've got to go back in, go to thing. Anyway, goes back through the NHS process to say, look, I've already had a heart attack, and I'm getting these pains now, right? They put him to see a specialist. It's a 3-week wait or something like that. And then they go, wait a minute, you've already had a heart attack, so now you need to go through this separate channel, and now you're on like a 9-month waiting list. 2 months later, he died. And that was with somebody whose friend was a cardiologist there. Like, it's infuriating there. Oh, and I got the O there, Iron. So, what's that there? So, I noticed patterns in my dreams. Appear as angels are saying we are descending there. Okay, that's an interesting one there. Descending, not necessarily the positive one, but the dreams connection. Dreams are very, very interesting. They do say there could be, you know, you're possibly accessing higher planes there. So, there may be information within that. Now, dreams are tricky. This is an interesting one here, low Earth orbit, because there is a function that is explainable for part of our dreams. So definitely for some dreams, and you'll probably be able to tell the difference, it is the brain's way of working things out conceptually. So it doesn't need to be a like for like of your problems, but it will use a very rough version of that to help you process and understand and put certain things to bed. That's partly what, you know, it's doing, untangling all of those knots. But then you get dreams like this, and you go, wait a minute, there seems to be something else going on. There seems to be a pattern. And now what we're hearing around psionics and, you know, telepathic abilities and things like that. Oh, that one's fading out. Yeah, it does make you think maybe there's another sort of connection there. And we've all had a good laugh now, and I feel sad when I don't see you online, but I can't always make it there. Very selfishly. Pluto, I know that you never have to feel guilty about not being in on the stream at all. We love to have everybody in, but like life gets in the way sometimes. Sometimes there's more important things to do. Sometimes you don't feel like it. And also, in a very human sense, we get bored. And that's okay. Like, sometimes, you know, and I'm like this, I'll get a new toy, and that's the thing I want to do, and I'll be doing that thing every fucking day, the same song on repeat for about a week, and then I never want to hear that song again. But maybe a year later, I'll go, oh, I remember the song, and I'll come back to it in an occasional sense, and that's fine too. You know, like, you know, you can come in, and you can be in every night if you want. And then maybe you get some other interest elsewhere. Ben,
Nom nom nom.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And then, maybe you want to come back in a year's time. You never have to feel guilty, It's totally optional, but we do love having everybody in there as well. And, you're in Egypt in May, and I'm sure to be making some lives that are, Adele, that I am very jealous. It's on my list. Egypt, if I don't get to make it to Egypt in my lifetime, I will be very, very unhappy there. But what with all the other issues going on, I probably wouldn't survive the flight. But, oh my God, I would love to. And in fact, I was listening to somebody who has a similar issue, and it's part of their recovery story. You're meant to listen to these things to give yourself like some hope that you can get through it. And it did a bit, and they went to Egypt. They did like a hot air balloon ride over the pyramids and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, that's where I want to go. Like one day, I don't know what cured looks like, but when I am, I'm to the pyramids, man. That's the main one. There's a lot of other stuff as well, but the pyramids, you've got to see that. In fact, all of Egypt, they're just, everything along the Nile there. And then on the radio, the second day, I got my attention. The song was saying, "Angels open the sky." The connection, the brain works in very interesting ways. Oh, hold on. What was that? I'm not even sure what that error is. Right, give me 2 seconds, chat. Okay. It's a tracking failure. There we go. Right. No worries. There we go. We'll just use this one for now. At least it's not the camera playing up for once. The brain works in interesting ways. It's how manifestation works. It's not necessarily that, it's connected to some sort of bigger, wider consciousness necessarily. I don't know for sure. But the thing is, we don't see things unless we have a structure to see them. So when you are made aware of certain things, or you start very simply actually verbalizing your goals and imagining them and things like that, what that does is you then start to see those puzzle pieces in your day-to-day life, and you'd be surprised what is actually around us, opportunities wise and everything. But we don't see it because of the mental constructs. So it could be something like that. You're getting that first piece of the puzzle in the message there, and then you're seeing the rest of the process there. Best stream on TikTok. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. TikTok doesn't agree. They think we're a dangerous stream there. Tubers, I will be over to you in a second. I'm just chasing the end of the comments there over here on TikTok. And I was furious when I found out, 3 years, I could have predicted two levels. There's a real, and this is, Kate, there will be no feedback for them to that. The people, all of the flaws, all of the misses, there's nobody getting feedback that something went wrong and to review the system. There is no cause and effect, and that is where the biggest issue is. And I'm sorry, this thing, how we need to, as a culture, before we can fix these problems, we need to stop using the NHS as all what do you call it? They're all heroes and angels and things like that. And that doesn't mean that not individual people that work there aren't very, very good and put in a lot of and do really care. This is where you have to separate the overall entity from the individuals. But it does work on an individual level there, because whilst we still have this assumption that they are working for your best interest, then we're never going to get to the root of the problem with it there. But they need that feedback. Somebody needs to go and feel the pain, to have a slap on the wrist there, to whatever it is, a fine or something, because that has had a real cost to other people, and they will never get that feedback. There was a hospital in America that had really difficult time. It was awful. Their I think his infection rates after surgery were ridiculous through the roof there, and it was the usual, we're underfunded, we're understaffed, we're under this, we're under that, and those things can be true. There are issues there, but new management came in and they basically just made failure unacceptable. So every point something went wrong, it was a real strict correction there, and very quickly people adjusted, and their rates went through the roof, of being, of successful operations with no cross causes there. I think there's a lot more we can do on individual levels. But we have to take people off of the pedestal and realise that people are human. How you doing, Rio, as well? And Iron there. The energy from last week until these days is crazy there. And I feel how they clean my digestive system. That's quite an interesting one. So you feel it's like a direct relationship there, not just in an informational sense, but it's affecting your body in a positive way as well there. And Adele, I got a lot of lucid dreams, and I get a lot of sleep paralysis during the lucid dreams. That's interesting. I used to get the old sleep paralysis there. Don't get much on the lucid dream front, but it does make you wonder if that is the difference. If that's when you're stepping over into the deal well there, and potentially I'd have prioritized me more. But that's the thing. At least they're giving you the options there. If they're missing flags like that, that's just awful. Like, honestly, the rage. Like, McDonald's messed up an order tonight for me. They missed a burger, which is fine, mistakes happen. But then Deliveroo, or no, it wasn't Deliveroo, let's not get it right, Uber Eats, let's name and shame. It was Uber Eats. I complained, and their automatic system gave me £1.07 as compensation. I'm like, whoa, that was a meal. That was 12 quid. I got the other bits there, but 7 of that at least is the burger, mate. Like that. And they just refused. They closed the case. You couldn't complain to anybody. And the sheer rage I felt about the injustice of that. I marched physically across town to the McDonald's and said, "You're sorting this out." I won. We got it sorted. But the frustration around not having any sort of agency within the system like that, which is like, the joke of it is for the NHS for me is that they will bitch and moan all the time. Do not Google your symptoms, and then you come in there. If you come into some doctors with a fucking Apple Watch, they will roll their eyes. They do not want you playing doctor. They don't want you to. But on the other hand, like, don't come to A&E with a cold. It's like, right, if you're going to take responsibility for people's healthcare, you then need to be able to take responsibility for people's healthcare. Like, that's it, you know. And it's a degrees thing, but don't claim, you know, I'm earlier than now if you're not going to do it. Sorry, Kate. I'm angry on your behalf there. Tell me who I need to write to. I'm going to grill them. And I've never been there, and only ever went to Spain. And we are in Sharm el Sheikh this time. I totally pronounced that one wrong, but that is amazing. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've travelled much. I did America once when I was younger, but yeah, Spain's probably the furthest. I'm not exactly well travelled, and a very busy man. I'm just unemployed, so all the jobs around the house I've been dying. Oh, Pluto, listen, whatever the thing, even if you don't fancy it, it's totally fine to do. But they do rack up pretty good. Honestly, when I wasn't working, I had less time. I don't know how that works, but yeah. There. And our human consciousness is a powerful thing. There's going to be something to do that. We're still arguing around what consciousness is, how it emerges. Is it fundamental? You know, is it what we think it is? Very interesting stuff. Rupert Sheldrake's talking about it. Even Roger Penrose as well. So mainstream Nobel Prize-winning scientists talking about the world of consciousness. What we know about consciousness can be written on a stamp. There is so much potential in that space. And Beerbuster is in as well, and Prophet as well. Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Sorry, you're getting me on a ranty day at the minute there, but we're keeping an eye on the sky as well, and we're going to keep looking for those awesome anomalous moving objects as well. Do say hello in the chat, and eventually I'll get round to you. And Tubers, I will be getting to you soon there. And Prophet as well. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there, and we can appreciate it. But like I say, do the thing you're supposed to be doing. Okay, I'm distracted now. I think they are so overwhelmed. They go for the big hitters first, but many don't get caught. I think that is pretty much what it is, because yeah, you got to flip it around the other way, which is you go. The institution cannot actually solve everybody's problems all of the time. That is the sad truth. That, you know, that we don't have the technology, we don't anywhere near have the GDP to fund it like that. But when it's like mistakes that you go, this is within your wheelhouse here. This is just your processes are crap. That's when I struggle with it there. At the same level of rage for all things, Kate. Yeah, I feel it's a good. Oh, yeah. I feel it. That is me there. And Neil's in there from Oxfordshire. How is your sky? Oh, nice and clear here. You already know what I'm going to ask. I'm glad they are clear. Let's hope they stay clear for us all tonight there. We have got some movement. Let me quickly switch across to zoom in on this. Let's have a look. Zoom mode activated. I can't bother to press the button. There we go. Look at that one. Now, we want to see it. It's doing a straight line. We want to see it do something strange. Shoot off at speed, change course, change trajectory, something like that can indicate to us that it is not one of the many, many satellites up there. So keep an eye on it as it moves across the night sky there. I will try to not make you seasick with all of the zooming in and out there. And you started to feel from 2020. Was there any sort of shift in your understanding or an experience there that triggered that shift as a starting point there? I don't know where consciousness came from, but I believe I have a clue. And I like that. We are all looking for clues there. Maybe we're probably not going to be able to figure this all out 100%, but we might be able to start going down the road there. How you doing? Hey up, good to see you there. Like you said, the zoom mode activated rather than moving your finger. I know. I knew it. I'm lazy. We get to it's too many buttons now. There. Right, I'm going to quickly pop over to the tubes. Let's see if I can catch up with you guys, because I have neglected literally all of you there. So I'm just going to have to say hello. Raf is in as well, and Polly is in as well there as well. Zen, good to see you guys. I'm going to scroll through most of it. I'll see if I can get any big comments there as well. A long time ago, 35 years ago, I watched a whole bunch of lights dancing around. They could... and watched a few lights around that time also. Singular moving in ways they shouldn't. There. Interesting. Whereabouts in the world was that, if you're still with us, Polly? Sorry it took me so long to get there, because that is fascinating. And what colour were they? Because there is just an organic nature to a lot of the phenomena, a lot of the sightings that we see in the night sky. There, I always say it reminds me of, or it's akin to lion cubs play fighting. If you see them dancing around, sometimes you see the lights in this sort of way. It's not mechanical. It's not necessarily, you know, like how a ship or a craft might move in an efficient pattern there. There's a dance to it, isn't there? It does go, is this, you know, a tick for the plasmoids box there. And so what's this about NASA scientist guy going missing? Oh, McCaslin. Oh, so is that the same one, Raf? There was a general that went missing recently. Very suspect, because he's got links to this as well, and to Tom DeLonge's and the stuff there. So yeah, it could be very interesting. There's also a few others that are kind of connected that have gone missing and disappeared in previous years as well. Oh, sorry, that is fizzy. Then around 5 years ago, being very serious, a black triangle was alone and have never been so scared and excited at the same time there. And this was huge. I'll say 3 football fields above your head. Now that is amazing. I'd love to see a black triangle there, but the scared and excited, like 100%. Like I think that's a good reaction to have there, because this is strange. This is out of our realms of anything that we can touch on as a reference point for, is this safe? What is going on? You know, but also it's new, and the possibility of what that means, that, you know, the silent hovering there, what does that mean? How possible all of these awesome things could be there? So that mix of fear and excitement, I think, is very, very genuine there. And the silence, wow, that is awesome. Was whereabouts in the world was the sighting there? And I seen it shoot away like a rainbow. So there was kind of like colours as well, or did it just away? And Tank is in there. And 95% of the New Jersey live cams are now. Now, you were saying previously that they might be interfering with these things for a very particular reason. And where was it? I did see an announcement that there is the drone swarms are back. Excuse me, talking too fast. So maybe it could be in line with that. They're shutting off because the activity is increasing there. And about 8 months ago, seen circular one. Well, ended up 3 of them with white rotating lights around, turning on and off. And I could stood all night watching. Oh my god! I don't think I'd be able to take my eyes off of them. But that is, and once you see one, it makes sense that you'll see more, because you know to look for it. That's the thing. How much of our time do we spend looking down to the ground, not noticing these things? But when you know something is possible, you know it's possible. Like we had a massive mouse infestation in our last house. It's a really old place. You couldn't block up all of the holes. We've got birds. They chuck seed on the floor. You hoover up, we still lose it. But yeah, like massive mouse population. And before that incident, I had never considered mice. I'd never cared, never thought about mice being a problem inside your house at all. And now we've moved, and it's a nicer house, but it is it's sealed off. We don't have a mice problem anymore. But every now and again, you see movement, and my brain goes, mouse, mouse, mouse. And now you know it's possible. You're going to be able to see more and more and more there, I think. Oh, speaking of house and nature invading my house, there, guys who know, on the spider front, I saw a new one, and it's awful, and I want to move. It's a different one. There, Rob is in. How are there? How you doing? There, we were followed by a strange light pattern in a triangle as we were coming into land, and it was about half a mile behind us and slightly above. Then we lost sight of it. Now that is phenomenal. Now, for you guys that don't know, Rob is a paramedic. There, you know, you're in the helicopters going around responding to you know, health-related incidents there. And you've seen a few things you've mentioned, but that is phenomenal. So you're up in sky, you've got that perspective, and you're going to be familiar with what the sky looks like, with other air traffic and all sorts of other things there. So if you're noticing an anomaly, it's probably anomalous. What did the pilot say? And did they did air traffic mention anything? Did you guys even bring it up, or maybe not mention it because you don't want to get called crazy or anything there? And no one I tell cares their Polly that I don't know why that is to a degree. I mean, I can understand when people don't believe, because hey, if I come out and tell somebody a story and it's so far from their realms of experience there, do they trust me? Do they trust if I know what I'm looking at? I can understand that from people, but to not care, like, you're presenting to people, the possibility is amazing there. And we don't drive anything here, exactly. We take the piss though. 100%, RAF mainly, and there's been about 6 or 7 scientists that went missing since Trump announced a disclosure. Apparently, I'd heard of a few. I didn't know it was that many recently. It reminds us of the Marconi scientists going back in, was it the 80s and the 90s? There was a spate of scientists from Marconi, British electronics company there that had a lot of defence contracts, and they suddenly started, self-ending there, and there was some suspect going on, but typically nothing ever came of it there. But then the one that's rumoured to be connected to the reverse engineering program. So yeah, maybe they're getting rid of the people that would be willing to release that information. That is interesting. I didn't know there's that many there, and the only people that get judged in here are the flat earthers. always open to it there, RF there. Or an infrared camera. Now that is what we would we would like to set up. Fuck, that was it. I was meant to get the lead for that, wasn't I? Amazon after this. Hopefully we'll be doing an infrared one soon. Keep forgetting. There. You've seen it from above there. Where I'm going to scroll through, make sure I think I've missed any there. And I watched the single light moving strange, then noticed was a 3 lights, triangular shape, and watched that and moved, noticed it again, stopping. But it was moving closer to me, and next minute it was above me, on my head. But I ran in the house and locked the doors, and looked in the mirror to tell myself that it was this real, and then ran back outside and watched it shoot away. Now that is, yeah, oh my god, over your house as well. Like that is, I've got the rule: no ghosts in the house. Goes for aliens too. Like, yeah, no, that is. I think that would be the same there. That would be the same with that. That is. Thank you for sharing that. It's phenomenal stories, accounts of the phenomena there. It was a lot. No, Polly, this is exactly what we love to hear. It's my favourite part of doing this and hearing all these accounts, because that's what's blown my mind in doing all of doing these live streams, meeting all of you and hearing your accounts. It is literally how many people have these accounts, have these experiences of various degrees. Sometimes it's, they're noticing a strange light in the sky, sometimes being followed by orbs or things like this, or, sometimes even more crazy encounters there, but just the sheer amount. And it's really changed my needle of belief around this. I thought it was much, much rarer, but it's not. It is so. I think probably even a third of us are going to have some conscious interaction with the phenomena there. And also, 2 other crew members witnessed it. Nothing showed on radar, and we tried to film it, but we couldn't get our phones to focus on it. That is something that has been talked about with the phenomena as well. That's part of it there. And Ken is in there. A long time ago, people believed that the world is flat and that the moon is made of green cheese, and some still do. And to this day, the man on the moon is looking down and laughing there, because as we all know, it's Wednesday now, it's not green cheese there. So that is where our technological advancements has brought us there. And and thank you for sharing. I do appreciate that. I'll get over to you guys on the TikTok in a second. It won't take long. I'm almost at the end of the tubers' comments. And apparently, this McCaslin guy left all of his stuff behind and just taken a gun with him. And his missus weren't concerned. I'd be concerned there. But that is interesting. So I think that is the same one that I heard about there. His phone, everything was left behind, untraceable there. So some people thinking, was he ill? Was he gonna, or is he just avoiding? Because that's exactly, if you don't want to be tracked, you leave your phone and you take your gun. And, he hasn't been found, so that's a pointer for that there. Yeah, exactly, because there is an account that people do think is linked to him, and it also stopped posting the same day. I think it's on X. Some very interesting disclosure-related stuff, but he wasn't publicly openly discussing disclosure, but he did talk to people behind the scenes apparently there. And I did used to have a recurring dream about alien invasion when I was around 7 and 4. After the Black Triangle, I had a crazy remote view of another story. Yeah, I every now and again used to have dreams like that. I haven't had one of them in a while though. You're bringing that one back. Where are we? In the tubers there. Let's have a quick look over there. Oh my god, I've missed so many there. Neil, thank you for the hearts there as well. Simon, Heather, Marcus, and Harko. Appreciate all the gifts, guys. Thank you very much. All goes back into the stream. Help us improve what we do. And let me find where I was in your chat so I don't miss any of your messages there. And there we go there. Pluto, that's the McDonald's talking. It's that extra burger. That ridiculous, right? They do a double Big Mac. So it's 4 burgers with bacon. My God, it's insane. And it's still, yeah, McDonald's there. But the plasma art to profit, yes, we were talking about the orbs and the way that they move and stuff like that. The plasmoids, the sentient life, could be a good connection there. And CERN is, again, another interesting one there. The law of... you don't know, of unintended consequences, basically, could be at play with CERN there. And I posted a link on Discord about things spotted on the moon there. It's a Facebook one that I still need to get on Facebook. Poor Nettie has sent me some links that I'm trying to get on Leanne's to use Leanne's account, and Leanne keeps going to bed. So if you're listening, Leanne, we need to look at those links there, and maybe Kate's one as well there, because getting the moon is weird. We go, where's the evidence for all the aliens? Hang on. There have been so many anomalous things, especially with the moon, that have been noticed for a very long time now. We don't have good explanations for, so maybe there, guys. There. Looks like things running on the moon there, but it says it's a satellites running on the moon. Now, see, that is the one I've not heard there. Satellites are one to consider, because I've seen some really cool footage of people using telescopes looking at the moon, and then you'll see something cross in front of it. But I'm thinking, what would the magnification be? Because you can normally see some shape to these things. So I'm thinking, is that the perfect magnification to see one of our Earth satellites? Because you wouldn't see a moon satellite, they're tiny, over the distances. So could that be a part of it there? But it doesn't. Those ones don't look like it. I'm interested. I'll have to check these ones out. There was a guy, I can't remember what it was on now. He was showing basically pictures of Mars and the moon, and there's some strange shit up there. And there is what looks to be like a broken cylinder up on the moon. So, like, if you imagine a crazy golf course where the theming was a crashed aircraft, right? What would they do? They'd get an old plane, they'd cut it in two and put it at a sort of jointy angle next to it. It was like that, right? These things, and there were shadows over it as well. So, it was a real thing there. Straight lines, rounded circular bits there. What the f is that? That is not natural. What are the odds of a natural formation following those rules? There are some definitely strange things there. And my dad worked for Marconi, then BAE. Any questions for him? Oh, 100% Pluto, 100%. What did he get to work on? Did he get to look at the UFOs? Can you imagine the British version of Area 51? It's Area 5.1. And it's also shared with a primary school to use the tennis courts on weekends. It's going to be so ramshackle. But there are rumours, and BAE is the organisation there that basically our only defence contractor now here that's left. That could be responsible for our participation in that. Now, the Calvine UFO photograph, if you've seen that one, black and white one, a little bit of fence in it, taken over here, big sort of diamond-shaped craft with a Harrier jump jet kind of in pursuit, it looks like, in the image. A cracking photo, as real as we can tell. Now, is that diamond craft, is that, a human technology? Or is it alien? But the Harrier in that shot is a BAE test Harrier. So ask your dad around that. Did he work with the radar stuff? Because he might be able to answer some questions if that was related to that as well there. And Kentanu, how are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Guys, if you are new here, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And how do you feel about the UFO UAP phenomenon? We're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch. These are the skies live over Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So, plenty of strange things in these nice skies. It's quietening down a bit, but there is still movement. So keep your eyes peeled, because we're looking for the movement, but we need to have strange and anomalous movement. There, Heather is in. How are you doing there? And how you doing, Marcus? as well, so I'm only getting to your messages just now there. And feed him exactly, Harko. Feed Alan there. And Eustace as well. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Guys, do make sure you are following, because we do something like this every night. If it's a clear sky, we're doing this. We're doing the UFO UAP Skywatch. If the moon's up and I can be bothered, which I couldn't be tonight, we do a moon watch there. And we see all the weird wonder things that happen on, off and around the moon. If it's cloudy, as it often is, no, that's this one. We do an alien radio signal hunt there. Use a very large radio dish, point it up to the night sky, and hope that we're hearing a message from ET. We listen on a frequency called the hydrogen line, which is where scientists think we are most likely to detect a message from an extraterrestrial civilization. There, just like the whale signal. There, and Rio, it's been a horrible day there. It's been sunny, windy, cold, and snowy. See, that's actually been how it's been down here, but not snow. We only got sleet, but it's been beautiful blue skies, freezing cold, big winds, and sleet. Insane. And I was in the awkward position helping somebody move house. I'm running inside and out of the house, getting sleeted on, but then I'm too hot moving stuff, so I take my clothes off, and then I'm cold outside. Never works there. Thank you for the Alan creeper. It looks like a square Alan. Thank you, Heather, for that. All the gift subs, patrons, do go back into the stream. Also, guys, it's going to be Movie Club this Friday. Is it Proximity we're watching? It's on Amazon Prime, and that'll be 10 p.m. UK time. So we'll do a stream beforehand, then 10 p.m. we go press play on our own Amazon Prime accounts there. We're going to watch the film, but we chat along in the Discord together there. Alan will be participating again. He'll have some amazing input probably on the film. He's always got a hot take about these films. He watches with us, so do join us for that one over in the Discord there. Even if you're new and you've not said hello into the chat, you're still more than welcome to hang out with us there. We warn you, it always goes pretty sideways. Alien nipples come up quite frequently there. And then it'll be the following Friday, we'll be doing another deep dive. We haven't set which one that is yet, but if you do want to join us for the deep dives, or you want to join us on the Starship Alan, which we'll load up in a bit, there, anything like that, you can join us on the Patreon for those, and it's the link is in our bio for that one. It gives you a month for free if you use that link, and you'll be able to join us for the deep dives and all of that for free for a month. Even the free tier will get you on the Starship Alan though. And Pluto there, he was RAF, worked on the Phantom, the Hercules, flight sim in Linham, and then joined Marconi. That is pretty cool on the flight sims there. That is big kit there. One of the most interesting stories, I think it's the Kecksburg UFO. There's lots of reported accounts of it crashing, people on the scene, both civilian and military. There's reports from people transporting the craft. There's reports from people working on the gates at the base where they took the craft to first, and various other points in the chain. It's a very interesting case, but there's also accounts from people that claim to have built a simulator for the craft based on one of the downed, on one of these crash retrieved UFOs. They built a simulator on it. I thought that was a good connection there, so maybe ask him, has he built a UFO simulator there for the secret military, or did he tap his nose? I'll tell you. And I worked on the Sea Fox radar at RAF Anthem there, on the Harrier GR2 back in the late 80s. Marcus, that sounds pretty cool. There, I mean, did you ever hear any stories of anomalies there working on the radar, talking to the crews that used it, the sea areas there, especially out at sea as well? They go, it's coming back, we're seeing these funny objects on there. Did you ever hear anything? And just contextually, did you ever hear anything like that your time working there at all? There, nom 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 for Alan. There, and life goal achieved. And thank you, Marcus, for the roses. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Pays for such things as the red phone. Actually, no, I paid for the red phone. There. And Hub says he's going to be watching with us this week. Excellent. I need to know Hubs' name. Hubs comes up. I need to know the gentleman's name there so we can say hello. Going to be watching along with us on the film there, and maybe Alan can comment. And Hava says, I see you spend a lot of time at the bar on the spaceship. Yeah, anything with Alan, it's you got to drink to get through it there. And Lynham is in Wiltshire. It's near Chippenham. Is it really there? Oh my God, Chippenham is just up the road. Yeah, I know. I've heard the name. I didn't know where it was. Very close by. As you know the area again. Crop circles all that around here. Did you pick up any time on that? Any stories there? Andrew. I will try and remember that one. Alan. It's Andrew. He says he's going to have words. That is so fizzy. Sorry, guys. Slowing me down. And back over to the tubes. Where are we there? The moon is made of St. Oh, jeez. I'm still saying it's more of a red Leicester there. And apparently this McCaston guy. Oh no, I've read that one. I missed the comment above then. Oh, it's either I'm going crazy or it puts comments in order, even if they've not like come through at the right time, and I miss them when I scroll back up there. Sorry if I have missed your comments past, guys. Pareidolia means something. The universe is. Oh, is it? Pareidolia is something. A universe is filled with it there, and. Ken, if aliens visit us, the outcome would be as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. Well, this is one of the things, that's an axiom that I've kind of always had in the back of my head. And I think it's true if you're close enough in sort of technological advancement, because it definitely means, but we don't pay attention to ants. So if you're kind of like that, then and there are also certain uncontacted tribes and things like that we don't interfere with purposely. So there's I think there's a zone. Excuse me, a zone of risk. If we're close enough in development there that we pose a risk, maybe we want the resources that they want, all of that sort of stuff, then that could very much be true. But I'm sure if they're too far advanced there, then we're just no threat, and also we're not going to be wanting the same things because they're going to be so far ahead of us there as well. And electrons in there, high probed ones. Well, you better get a stamp in your passport so you'll be able to be exempt from the probings and abductions there. Oh, 100% Polly. All you got to do, there should be a link even on the Tubes thing there, is it? So it's our Discord group. So just join our Discord, and then yeah, basically we watch the film separately on our ends, but we just type along at the same time, and it's 10 p.m. UK time that we press the go live button. So we normally stream until about 9:30, and then go live with the movie club after that. And you're more than welcome to participate, but it gets pretty rude there. Pareidolia is a universal phenomena there, isn't it? So isn't it? Because I thought pareidolia was the psychological pattern recognition things, like we see faces in things there because we are designed to basically filter. Is there a face here? If yes, then that's more important than is it an inanimate object, and the brain works like that there. And I've been thinking lately that the human global insanity seems to be following Moore's law. There, I wouldn't be surprised. And I never get the pronunciation just right, but anyway, Moore's law, guys, is the idea that computer processing power, again very roughly, will double every 2 years or something like that. And you can look at how fast computers get as technology advances, and it seems to be following Moore's law there. But there's another law, it's either the Pareto or Pareto principle. Never get it right there, but it is the basically the most, like 80% of taxes are paid by 20% of the people, and you know it's that sort of thing there. But it applies to absolutely everything. You know, 80% of the music that's made is released by 20% of the artists. All of that sort of stuff. It's a natural fundamental principle. Things pull together like that in any job and workforce. You know, 80% of the work is actually done by 20% of the people. Things like that. So this rule, it's not strictly 80-20, it's the square root of one of blah, blah, blah. But 80-20 is a reasonable thinking for this. But it seems to apply to absolutely everything. And it's one of those useful starting points for analysing any situation there. I've never told anyone of these kinds of thoughts, then they will see you different. What's that? I mean, on one of your private conversations there. Tomcat is in, how are you doing? And is like more about crop circles. I like to go visiting them. So we really want to. It's our ambition this year. I don't know, because we've got to line it up, right? But we are right in the heart of crop circle country. And last year we did have one literally on the edge of town. And what we're going to do this year, if we can find a crop circle with a farmer that is amicable and that also has signal, we will do a live Skywatch. Do this live from the middle of the crop circle there. See if anything comes back. I think that'll be a first. And it'd be very, very interesting to do. We sometimes take the show on the road there. It's not as frequent as I'd like, but we do take it to UFO hotspots and do the live sky watching. It's like dragging a full computer up a hill to do it, though, is a bit of a pain. But I think, yeah, there's definitely some more things to be done there. And how comes the Tube channel doesn't have a donate button like most do? It's because I don't think it's fair. No, you know, I'm not in it for the money. Bollocks. I haven't got 500 subscribers, that's why. So yeah, that's the main reason why. But thank you for asking. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. It's there's not much discoverability for this sort of thing on YouTube, which is very surprising. But we've got a nice tight little community there. And Leanne as well, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Where am I on the Twitch? Twitch? I forgot you were on that one as well. Nobody's on that one. But on the tubes, let's have a look. Hello.
Sam's nickname was his big old stinky butt.
What, my nickname is Big Old Stinky Butt?
They're talking about nicknames in the chat.
Oh. There we go. Now you know, apparently that's my nickname. Oh, something fast moved from A to Carl. Sorry, I was totally behind with the messages. God, I'm 25 behind there. Hopefully we'll catch that then, because I am still recording these. Well, I'll have to see if I can go through it and catch that one. Good. Keep the eagle eyes watching there. Feel weird calling him Andrew there. There. I mean, Mr. Andrew, that could work. I was aware, but I had trouble with my R's as I was 10. Fair enough though. Did you see anything strange in the night sky? And when I was at RAF St. Athan there, it was mainly Harriers and tornadoes, and we had a major lockdown once. Oh! Was it like an intruder there, or was it something anomalous? You got to tell us more, Marcus. This is the juicy stuff here. This is the feet on the ground, people first-hand accounts. You saw it too, Rio, as well. Excellent. So was it faster than the other satellites that we've seen moving? Because this is the thing. Just we call them satellites because we can't make sure that they're not. But again, ET up there would be looking very similar to us, and you know the fastest path from A to B is a straight line, so they're going to be travelling straight most likely as well. We are setting quite a high bar, requiring ET to realise he's left the gas on whilst over the camera, and then do a handbrake turn there. But it's the only way we can be sure there. And what's your thoughts on the black spaceship that came close to us? Oh, so this is. Wait, was this a personal experience one, or was this an account? You might have to remind me on this one, because I'm not sure if it's the one I think it is. There, but the black ones, if it's a black and it's not just the absence of light black, that for me by default always points to the reverse engineered. But it's a very human thing to paint things dark colours, I think. And it was early hours there. Whole barracks went to stand to. No explanation either afterwards. Oh, you was ATC at the time. ATC. I was Army, so fly boys. It's a lovely use, yeah. And my nickname since primary school is Ario. You're telling me that's not your real name? You are your real name on Discord though, and on Starship Alan. I always find it strange when people have a normal name that isn't actually their name, but it's their nickname. It's like, hello, Fred. Yeah, Fred. No, it's James, really. What? Always just to confuse me there. Kate is, yeah, I remember you saying this, Kate, technically. You're in disguise. You're in witness protection. You can't tell anyone. There. Minute work is Marcus Aurelius Maximus there, commanders of the armies of the north. And at work, so I'll stick with that one. There. Yes, very fast. Oh, awesome there. Oh, do you think so? Very fast. So that can be an indicator there. So the speed is going to be another key there, another anomaly. In fact, you know what?
Anomalous object confirmed.
I'm calling it. You guys have seen enough satellites and their range of speed. So if you say it's fast, that's going to be interesting there. Satellites tend to all function at basically what is free fall sort of speeds there. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. So if you're seeing something go faster, maybe something else is at play there. And so do you think the blue beings are made up? So this is a good question. The blue beings, I've heard this a couple of times. Now, in principle, blue skin, I suppose alien is alien. It's a possibility there. But for some reason, I don't know if it's I haven't heard as much about it. I'm less convinced of that, if that makes sense there. You know, less conviction on that as a specific. But it would make sense. There probably would be... You could probably deduce what sort of environment that they evolved under then, if the skin is blue there. What light are they photosynthesizing from their star? You could predict what type of star it is there. You could tell, does that even work, or does it reflect all of the useful light rays? You know, so there might be something to tell there, because they were saying, you know, basically what life would most likely look like around different types of stars that emit different types of light. You know, there's more or less of the other ones there, and you know, we have green plants because that is the most effective way to, you know, they filter out that color basically, but they want all the others for photosynthesis. But that's not going to be a standard anywhere necessarily. So maybe that's there. Ah, so the Black Knight there. I wouldn't all over TikTok. So I don't think I've seen that one ever. So my TikTok messages, I used to be so good at getting through them, but my TikTok and even the Discord at the minute, I'm like 100 messages behind. It's getting ridiculous at the minute, and I keep sitting and clearing over a weekend, and they just keep coming back up. So sorry, I'm so far behind with everybody's messages. So I'm definitely out of the loop on some of the most recent stuff there. So I haven't seen that one, but I will have to have a look. Maybe somebody probably will have sent it to me, and I will have a look for there. So the Black Knight Beer Buster, I think. Whether the Black Knight as a specific object, like, you know, we've seen the cool pictures of it, which NASA say is actually just a blanket they lost during a STS mission. Whether that is actually a satellite, the Black Knight, or not, I think the principle of aliens or even a pre-civilization having satellites in our orbit to monitor us is highly likely, considering all of the evidence that we are getting for how much life is potentially up there. Then I think so. I think there is going to be that. In fact, they do actually track a hell of a lot of objects up there. They do not know where they've come from or what they are. And I think that is one of the main reasons that they put all the money into the space shuttle, was probably to explore that. And it's just a gut feeling. This is not based on particular accounts or anything here, but the space shuttle was very, very ambitious, not just for its reusability, but it did one particular thing which was interesting. It had a payload bay, had a cargo bay with a big arm and a crane where they could launch satellites, they could repair satellites with it, and they didn't actually do that much of it to the public with that ability there, but they utilised it for science missions and all sorts of stuff like that. But that would have been a very useful tool for going up, inspecting, retrieving even some of those strange objects that they think are up in our atmosphere. Now, when would they have done these mysterious missions, I hear you ask, and it's a very good question. I was skeptical of the whole secret space program and that sort of stuff previously. You know, there's a lot of money in that, they're big events, so surely we would notice those things going off. But they built a parallel launch facility for the space shuttles there. So the Cape Canaveral one that we all saw them launch from, big old infrastructure there. Everybody saw those ones on the opposite coast. Cape Canaveral's Florida, that is the east coast. On the west coast, there's Vandenberg Air Force Base, which is a very large area of land, quite mountainous, missile testing ranges there, but they do launch space missions there. They launch military satellites and things from there. But they built a parallel space shuttle launch facility from there in the mountains that you wouldn't really see, especially back in the day during the 80s. There, when they're relying on certain satellites, you know, nobody would have got live data of when there was stuff going up there. We don't necessarily track everything that comes in and out of our atmosphere already, so there's plenty of room for shenanigans there. But there's a great picture online of a mock-up space shuttle sitting on that second launch facility, and as soon as I saw that, I went, oh fuck, yeah, they can do that. Yeah, they could have done that. And I reckon that is what, because all of these things, they always, when it's a big investment into the sciences of space like this, you always find out that there was a reason. There was a military reason, a particular project that got the bulk of the money that paid for it there. There are loads of examples of that. And I think that's probably where the space shuttle came from and what its purpose was. Now, did it achieve its mission? Next other question, but I think so there. And where are we there? Oh my god. No, I just jumped ahead a few there. Where are we? Actually, it's Catherine. Or Kate's actually not too far wrong then. I thought you were full undercover, like Sarah or something there. But Catherine, Kate, that's fine. That's fine there. And just Simon. Simon. That's a good one, though. Not got any nicknames there? Not UFO Simon? Oh, you don't let people at work know that one. And where are we? Did that? Marcus as well there. I was there for 4 weeks every summer between 84 and 86 there, working and learning with aircraft. That is a cool experience. I don't think they still do it to the same degree there, because, you know, the cadets, it's a very useful thing there. Although I lost all credibility, I think, for the air cadets, because I was in the Army cadets as a kid, and our base, our cadet office was also with some air cadets. We had 2 separate huts and we'd share the parade ground, and obviously healthy rivalry there as well, which was just that healthy rivalry until one day when we saw all of the air cadets running around in the parade ground with their arms out like aeroplanes there, and I'm like, right, that's it, guys. I know budgets are tight, but that's a bit ridiculous there. Have a deep thinker there. So we are the aliens. Well, actually, yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? Especially compared to with like majority of people out there. And I can say this stuff without causing offence to anyone on the stream, because you would have clicked off by now if you're not of a similar mind. But it does strike me actually how much the general public are like NPCs in games, you know, the non-playing characters there. They've got the same 3 lines, you know, they only say the same 3 things there. There doesn't seem to be much more going on in those brains. Maybe we are the aliens. There's a very good evolutionary reason for it, though. And the space shuttle was an amazing piece of engineering there, and very forward for its time. That's what makes me think that there was a reason that they took that gamble, because normally science, they would do incremental progress and things, but there was some reason to do that. They wouldn't normally bite off that much and achieve something so cool. I don't think there. Aerodynamically training, yeah, exactly. That's the excuse, is it? But it was that point I thought, oh no, that's it, lads. The rumours are true. There. And the Russians had the Brawn there, and 2 of them, but they never flew in space there. So yeah, they had their version of the space shuttle. I remember when I first saw them, so back, and this is a long time, when I was much younger, God, at least 15 or so years ago now, I used to be into the old urbexing stuff, and back then it was pretty cool because not everybody was doing it. Trendsetter. But there was, you'd be on the old forums for it. And I think they've been moved now, but what's the base? It's a Russian base that we have to launch from. Isn't it in not Kazakhstan, but somewhere around that? There's the launch base there. But they had their facilities for what was the Russian space shuttle program there, and they basically just cut the budget of their space shuttle and left the shuttles in this hangar to just dilapidate and deteriorate, and all the old urbexers would get in. And I mean, just the idea of breaking into an abandoned bloody warehouse, and there's 2 space shuttles sitting there, like, mind blown. Like, how? I mean, like, that is cool. That is something seriously cool. And the images, it's beautiful. Beautifully haunting as well there. And Simon, good night again. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully I'll have a good day tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some more skywatching over the week as well there. I'm an aeroplane. And that training, Marcus, it served you well. Put you in a good stead there. But have a good night, Marcus. Over on the tubes, where was I? There's an alien talking in A4 there. It's bloody scary. Well, is that my box? It is, yeah. An alien, a hairless alien. And Polly there, I watched the ISS live a lot last few months, and I've seen some very strange stuff. Then they would shut the stream down, and I tried to take screenshots. I've heard that they do this a lot, you know, and you're thinking, oh, I wouldn't be surprised. What was the one I heard the other day? Like, basically, if you're talking about bacteria surviving in space, you know, what can life survive in space and stuff? Somebody said, you've just got, it might be one of you guys, you've just got to ask the Russian astronauts how to clean the fucking windows, because they go outside, they wipe the windows, and it's covered in bacteria on the outside. Like, things are growing on the outside of the space station, which, you know, by our current understanding, they shouldn't do that. Lee as well, thank you for the gift. I just saw those, but thank you. There was a fact last night that I heard, and I'm like, that's an interesting one. You guys need that. I can't remember it. But what I do remember is, do you remember the what's the paper there? Beatrice Villarreal, something like that. Did the transient objects in space. She's put the paper out there, you know, which we've all seen there, that there's like 100,000 candidates of these strange things in our Earth's atmosphere from back in the 50s, before we had satellites or anything up there. So what the hell are these things? Another observatory from another set of plates from another observatory on the other side of the world has repeated and got the same or similar results there. So it wasn't just a one-off. It's not just plate issues. There is something up there in the atmosphere that we have no explanation for, and there's a hell of a lot of it as well. So there is so much going on at the minute in the world there. And I've seen a guy called Bald and Bankrupt to go to that Russian space place. It was mental. I know the guy, yeah. I haven't had the comparison to him yet. He's very adventurous. He's so fucking brave. I wouldn't be like that. But yeah, there's the space center. I think they've removed the vehicles from it now, but you could get in there quite regularly there. It happened a lot. It just makes you think there's more going on. The amount of astronauts that do say this strange stuff. Now, what can we say that is? You know, can we say it is little green men? Can we say it's aliens? Can we say... It's going to be very hard to be specific, but there is something going on, something worthy of more investigation, but also that the mainstream explanations for these things are crap and need to be looked at there. And Steampunk, thank you for the gift. How are you doing tonight? I appreciate that. We'll go back into the stream there. And yes, they are offline a lot, which makes you think. It does. It does now. I mean, there's not really an issue, is there, to get these days? What with Starlink and stuff, they could get some signal up there quite easily. It wouldn't be too hard, would it? Have you ever seen the Starship re-entry live streams there? Because it's the first time that we were able to like properly film the plasma heating up the craft as it re-enters. We've seen it in Hollywood 1,000 times. It looks very impressive, but it's not actual footage there because basically the cameras would cut out when you're re-entering. You know, all communication gets lost. But because of Starlink, we can now see that live. And oh my god, it is beautiful just to see the plasma heating up the vehicle as it re-enters there and all the colours coming off it. It's just insane. I've actually got my Starship model there, slightly bigger than expected. There it is. But yeah, it's a lovely clear night tonight. Should we spin the camera around? Hopefully the moon's not going to be too bright. Hold your hats. Come on. If any of you are rich, we need an upgrade. Come on. Oh, looks like we're not spinning the camera. No, the camera's staying still tonight. That's frustrating. Oh well, let's just look at this patch of sky then. Keep our eyes peeled. Comments are slowed down now so we can zoom in on the good stuff. Didn't you and Pete see something like that on the Randonautica live that you did? Oh, we did actually see... God, what did we see that night? There was some weird screaming, wasn't there? And then there was, when we were going to that last destination, it was like a shooting star, but like really low in the sky. And it was very straight as well. It wasn't an angle, but it was like this line drew across the sky. So I don't know what that was. So there was that. And I think they see more on the space station as well. 100% up there. And I wonder how much of it is cognitive dissonance on the part of the astronauts versus actually outright lying. Because people in the scientific fields, you think, well, if they see it, they're either going to say, or they're not going to be illogical. But a lot of the time, you know, if they don't have a structure, again, of understanding, they can be the more biased ones. You know, they'll go, well, nobody else talks about this, so it's obviously not a thing, so I'm not going to notice it. So maybe they don't actually notice it there at that level. Where there is water, there is life, exactly. And that is just by our current definition of life. You know, this is proving now. I mean, that, again, if the plasmoids are real, if that's a real theory, then that's going to be very, very interesting there. Oh, the blue light. Yeah, it was a weird one. God, I'd forgotten about the Randonautica one there. And I know Ireland, we're seeing some rocket or something at that time. Oh, maybe it's connected to that then. There was a weird spiral thing, not recently. Was that another flash? Hold on. have a look. Read spiral threat the other year that people were seeing over here. It turned out to be related to a spaceship launch, but it almost looked like a galaxy. It's beautiful. Just saw a flash around here, guys. See if we can spot that one there. The bacteria is in fact algae from the water pool. They keep it in there. Maybe. They do that big training pool, don't they? That freaks me out. Have you ever seen that? Like the big water, the swimming pool that they use to train the astronauts in for, like, you know, EVAs and stuff. They put them in all of the suits, and then there's like a space station in this deep swimming pool, and they use the kind of the low gravity in that, the buoyancy, to simulate the gravity in doing the EVAs and stuff. And there's something about that deep water that just freaks me the fuck out. Cannot do that. And it's weird. 3 of my favourite YouTubers have 3 letters in their name. Now, Raf, is it the same 3 letters? Is it PhD? Maybe we should change ours to that. The Thing PhD. A whole new level of credibility there. I'll get an online doctorate. And I've just seen a massive cloud-like thing flying past, and a star moving. Oh, so stars shouldn't move. That is very interesting there. Rosie, where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in. And what colour? So this star shouldn't move. That could be your sign that maybe you've seen something slightly strange there. There are many satellites up there, but if it's as bright as a star, it could be an interesting one there. You need to do a deep dive on NASA, Sam. I need to catch up there. I do. I'll give you that one. My trust for NASA only gets less and less there. But that was it. Moon landing stuff. What was it? There was something that reminded me. Yeah. So that was it. There was. So we're saying, you know, what is the evidence for the moon landings? And one of the things that I thought was interesting, but not conclusive as proof that it was that the other countries' orbiters, moon orbiting probes there, have imaged the surface, and they have seen the landing sites, the Apollo landing sites there, and what is left of them there. Which, you know, somebody could, you know, fake that, you know, the US government slipping them a backhand and go, just tell them you saw the landing sites, lads. Possible. But what was interesting, and I thought this actually does make it much more credible, is that where they've mapped it now, the features that are in those images of all of the mountain ranges and things like that match up with the backgrounds of the Apollo images, apparently. Not checked it myself, but apparently. So I think if that is true, for me, that points to the result we did go. That would be too hard to fake, because they didn't have anywhere near that resolution back then to then design a background that actually looked correct by far. So I'm always open to outside opinions, but I do think it's curious that it does seem to be the evidence for it there. And I know Ireland we're seeing some of the rocket. Oh, I've done that one, so let me scroll through to where we are. That was the one. That was a stunning one there. In my aquarium, here's not much life anymore. You got to feed him, Harco. You got to feed him there. And Interstellar, how are you doing? Good to see you. How are you doing there? I think we've spoken briefly. Agent X put us in contact, didn't he, for a while there? Welcome. We're doing a live Skywatch, and this is Warminster. I know you've been here before on your adventures, though. Yeah, we're live Skywatching from Warminster. It's the busyness has dropped, and now the sun has gone round. We're seeing less of the satellite activity. It's not as clear as it normally is because the moon's up. It's destroying our night vision a bit, but we still get to see something strange, some either anomalous flashing or some strange movement, if we're lucky on each stream. But how have you been? And good to see you. And guys, if you want to check out some very good content, in fact, it was Interstellar Discussions just before we started doing this. It was your video on the crop circle, the Sutton Veney crop circle, because that actually made me aware of that crop circle. There. I didn't realise we'd had one just outside of town until I saw your video, so I have to thank you for that. So if you want to check out good stuff, do check out Interstellar Discussions there as well. Where are we? Let me scroll back into the chat. That's a very deep note there. Is that what it is? Oh, ACPHD, yeah, exactly. And the flag. Who was it that was saying that the flags were removed? I can't remember who it was now, that basically, I think there's only one flag left up there, because they took the others back or something. I don't know how true that is, but I thought it was interesting there. And thank you for the follow in to start as well. Appreciate that. And when we do go to the moon, it's going to be a different experience with digital cameras now. Oh, God. There'll be Street View. In fact, I'll be surprised if Google doesn't go there first, the way that they're mucking around getting back up there. But it's very interesting. I think is it Gerald Isaacman, the new NASA top honcho there? So he's a billionaire. He's been to space himself. He seems to be the sort of like can-do sort of person. So it'll be interesting to see how he can, or if he can whip the bureaucracy of a government organisation like that into shape enough. And so far, he's making some changes. Interesting. It looks like going back nuclear-powered as well to Mars. I mean, he's dusted that tech off the shelf, so that's going to be interesting there. I think that's it there. And, I mean, good. Awesome. Yeah, it's been a bit quiet around here with those cloudy nights. We've not been able to do some Skywatches, but the skies are clearing now, so we are very, very happy there and glad to hear you are. We'll have to catch up at some point. I keep meaning to drop you a message, because I know you're not too far from us, but when we do this on the road, when we go up Clay Hill or one of the other hill forts, we'll have to get together and do the live stream up there together at some point when you're around in the area. So 25k, thank you Harco as well. That's mostly you tapping away there as well. But guys, do appreciate the likes, the shares, the tapping away. Is how we reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. Hopefully we get more eyes and minds on the phenomena, so we can all piece this puzzle together there. And Nettie, she went to bed last night before I came off the stream. So one day I will, but not yet. It's becoming a running thing now. And where are we there? Operation Dominique. What was that one, Jolly? What was that one? And Operation Fishbowl. What's that one? You have to send us a link to it. The name Fishbowl one rings a bell, but you'll have to send us a link for that one. Oh, Operation Dominique. Okay, I don't know that one. Do send us a name there. And Jason there. Do you think they based the X-Files on true events? And why did they choose the scary music for it? So, 2 reasons. I think yes. I think, there is that interpretation. It's been filtered down that something was going on and it's an interesting storyline. But entertainment is very, very important there. And we make this mistake a lot ourselves when we're doing this. We're all interested. We're passionate about the phenomena. We want to share our knowledge and get more knowledge and understand the phenomena ourselves. But it's, for a lot of people, it's a bit inside baseball. They need to be taken out for dinner first. They need a bit of foreplay before you jump straight in. And entertainment is a great way of doing that. And that is why I purposely chose the word UFO, because most people, if they're not up to date, they go, what the fuck's a UAP? So we do that. And also things like the bright green background. It jumps out. It's things like that. Entertainment is a great way to warm people up, to handhold them, and then they can get curious about the phenomena. And then they can choose to go deeper if they are interested. But it's a great first step, and things like the spooky music like that, the theming, the way they play it is very valuable in kind of getting people's initial interest in something, and then you can sell them on the details and bring them in there. X-Files was soft disclosure. It could well be part of that. I do think the media has definitely been used for those purposes there. And where are we? Let me have a look back over on the YouTubes there. You've been slacking, okay. And, oh, yeah, man, I'm going to be heading back to Warminster soon. So it'll be good to get a little group. Oh, 100% Interstellar. Just yet. Give us a shout. Even if you just want to go for a drink or something and talk aliens. It'll be awesome. And we're always around if you need to use the loo. We're right in town. So you're more than welcome to come hang out there. And Darren as well, what's all of those clusters in D1? So D1 for you guys, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I can't turn the camera around, so I'm not sure which way we're pointing. Hold on, let's see if it'll work now. The little pan tilt head has given up on us tonight. There's always a technical issue. Mercury is in microwave. No, ain't working. Sorry, so I can't align. I have no idea where it's pointing. Whatever's directly south at the minute, basically. But it does look interesting, doesn't it, the cluster? We can zoom in on it. Let's have a look. Where's my cursor? There we go.
Zoom mode activated.
Thank you. There we go. So see how densely packed this area is compared to the rest of the night sky. Sorry, guys, going to make you seasick. Now, is that going to be just from our perspective? Because you see it, that maybe they're all different distances, so it's just from our angle. I think some of the alignments of some of the constellations are pretty awesome there. The coat hanger is my favourite because that is one that does actually look like what it says. And you think, is that just from our point of view? When really, if you were side on looking at that from another star, there would be no shape at all because of the distances of the individual stars amongst them. We're not getting much colour now. That's interesting. We'd lost the colour of some of those stars. There's some beautiful purples and some oranges up there, but not at the minute. I wonder what tomorrow weather's like. Oh, Knightley, thank you for joining us as always. Good to have you in. And talk stationary flashing. We should talk stationary flashing. You are right there. And is that the Seven Sisters? I don't think that one is. I think that's a tighter cluster. We've zoomed it before. But the Seven Sisters is very, very, very interesting as a constellation there. But the stationary flashing is interesting. It's one of the anomalies that we do get reasonably often. Now, everything up there should be in motion, should be moving. There. It's in orbit. It's falling to Earth in a big circle, and in every loop, every rotation, it kind of gets a little bit lower there. So everything should be moving. Even the stars that we're looking at that look pretty still to us right now, if you sped up the playback of this stream, then you'd see them move across the sky very, very slowly. Everything is moving. Everything is in motion up there. So when we see something that is flashing to us, maybe once every 17 seconds, once every 2 minutes, but apparently from pretty much the same spot, it's not moving. That requires a lot of energy to do that. There's only very few places up there you can park something that doesn't really move relative to us. The only thing really is the geostationary satellites, and they are in very particular equatorial orbits, which is not where we're pointing the camera. So it is interesting when we see that now. Satellites can flash, space junk can flash, but if it's flashing from the same position, that is very, very, very strange there as well. And we'll do a little demonstration in a minute there of that one. It's quieting down. It's quieting down. It was busier earlier. We had a lot of movement earlier as we come on, so hopefully I'm very excited to see where that's going to go as the nights roll on in there. Let's have a look there. What's that? You fell asleep to the Drew book of Operation Radio Operative who accidentally pinged space to get a return. What's that? The firmament reaches Earth at 80,000 feet. The Antarctic. What? And mostly... what's this? I'm mostly on TikTok, going to make sure, got you on there. Oh, perfect as well. The chat's busier there, and it's easy to read as well. Thanks to the chat. Oh, thank you for joining us, Polly. Good to see you. Hopefully we'll see you in later in the week as well there for those, and for Movie Club. And does anyone watch Decoding the Unknown? Another very good channel. Decoding the Unknown. I know the name. I can't think of the shows, but I think I do, Raph. I think I do there. And soft disclosure isn't required now if you understand the nature of reality there, and you would know what extraterrestrials are. Well, that's if you're correct. But that's right. Of course, you don't need to be disclosed if somebody already knows what the thing is there as well. I'm interested. I'm interested in those angles. I'm not going to fully write it off because I haven't looked and I don't know enough. You guys have very generously tried to explain it to me a few times, but I think I still need to go back to 101 and kind of look into that part of it a bit more. But at the minute, I'm still not sold, and it's mostly because of how everything else seems to work. But I wouldn't write it off. I mean, hoaxes and stuff, I just think, very quickly you get into it being quite complex. Lots of people have to kind of keep up the charade, and that's when things would fall apart there. You could answer me this, though. Has there been an historical version of that point of view? The firmament and things like that. Like, I know it's mentioned biblically, but I've also heard counters to that. But is there a historical chain, or is this a new theory and understanding of reality there, or is there a clear diversion from that being a pre-existing running narrative that then becomes then we come to the modern day one? Because I didn't know that. sky ice. No, I don't know. There. It's a fascinating. Its composition is dense as fuck. Oh, okay, interesting. Helium doesn't freeze, or hydrogen becomes a liquid, a vapor, and a dense gas. Oh no, I'm not too up on my science there. Let's have a look. Where are we there? Kate's favourite, it's the firmament. Are you going to hop over to the tubes? There. It's like Project Bluebeam. So Project Bluebeam is interesting. I think as a specific project, I think it had its day. I think that was probably floated for a particular time, with particular people involved in a particular execution method. But the principle of a false flag operation, where the enemy is extraterrestrial in nature, 100% always on the cards there. I think if they think they could get us to believe it, then they would 100% do it in the same way that they would for other false flag operations. And if we want to go full conspiracy theory, guys, I'm just going to say this now. The guy that purchased the old Twin Towers before that date has also just purchased a very large tower in LA, so we'll just see if something happens there. But yeah, I think it could have been of its time. There's a lot of interesting chatter around it. You know, a lot of it that could have been something that was definitely considered, but it was quite a while ago, and I think things change quite a lot there. But would they do it now? 100%. If they think they can get away with it, if that was a tool in their chest, they would most definitely give that a go there. You're going to take a break from it tonight, Kay? You're going to have a break on it there. Finding pieces of it as it's fallen. Okay, interesting. I don't know enough to know how that proves or disproves either way. You know, that's the problem. I'm not caught up enough on the grounding stuff, which is very frustrating, I think, if you're trying to explain that to people. But I need to go right the way back to where it diverges in that beginning stage. That first question from A to B, and then if you can handhold me across that, maybe you'll get me. Maybe we'll be on side there. And Jason, then the Simpsons X-Files episode scared the crap out of me when I was younger, and who else was scared by it? And the guy from the Alien video said that it's going to be an alien invasion. Oh, what was that one? So The Simpsons. It's amazing how, for my generation anyway, The Simpsons was just so fundamental, and it's quoted constantly still. Unconsciously, it's just every part of life is there, always on. It was, and it's also worrying how much that isn't true for modern generations, and they don't get the references. I can't think of the particular one, the episode for that though. Stars are depleted phase change gases falling back to Earth when they return to equilibrium as a solid. Okay. So they're falling to Earth. Why do we not see them, if they're falling back to Earth now, why do we not see them come back down? Like, why is it, you know, or is that shooting stars? But then why does our map of the night sky not change that much? I think it happened quite a lot. You're going to complete your water consumption instead. Very healthy. It's the meme, it's Kate. Health. There. Oh, this is the Truman Show on steroids, and the ETs are running a Hunger Games dome with actors, with sectors of control over the planet. I mean, now that I'm on board with, but what I think you have explained this to me previously. But what's all of that in? Like, if you're saying, you know, that we're trapped in the firmament, right? We're in the Truman Show dome. What's that in? Or is that it? Is there nothing? Is it just infinity outside of that? Or is it actual space in kind of we think? Or, yeah, what's it? You know, is it a scale issue? We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll fix it. We'll resolve it, guys. 100%. The skies have quietened down a bit now, though, haven't they? Shame. Andre, notice, how are you doing? Good to see you. Should we quickly pop over? Oh, you got to go. Your kitchen's flooded. Oh, my God, Kate. The last thing you needed there. We'll catch you later, Kate. Oh, yes. My God. I'm a bit disappointed in myself that didn't immediately come to mind. It's like muscle memory, a lot of the Simpsons stuff. Should we quickly pop over to the Starship Alan? See how you guys are getting on board. Wrong button, Sam. Wrong button. Did I totally screw up the TikTok there? Hold on. No, the other one I did. This one. There we go. We're back there now. I've got to press this one. There we go. Right, and then there you go. It's unfrozen now. This is the Starship Alan. It's our little spaceship with all of you guys on board, getting on with your spaceship duties there, running around, keeping the ship going there. Can you spot yourself? So, Real K is in the hydroponics bay there with Lee and B. Oh, and A Up. Lieutenant A Up is in there. Beer Busters in engineering with Gary and Rio there. And Captain Blue Nose is in the shuttle bay with Marcus and me. And Janie there. Simon said he's going to bed, but he's in the Chicago bay today there. Where are we? Fake Kate is in sick bay by the looks of it with Leanne. Carl is in Alan's room with Brad. And me as well. What's going on there? Why is there two of me? Carl as well is in there. I think it's two of Carl. We're doubling up here. Alan is on the bridge. Who's it? DJ is in the probing room, awaiting. And with Ben's in the holodeck. And Spider Girl. There you go, Heather. You're on board the ship tonight there. V, Commander V is in engineering as well there. Can you spot yourself? So if you log into the app as well, you can actually change your little job title there and give yourself a favourite room. And give yourself that little ping by joining the Discord there. So if you do want to join the Starship, you just got to join the Patreon. If you use the link in bio, it gives you a month for free. But the actual free tier will still get you on the ship. You'll be a red shirt though, and as we all know for Star Trek, they're the first to go if danger hits. But you can be on the Starship there with Alan. Just be careful. There's a probing room, and Alan does frequent it quite frequently. All this firmament is getting a bit always sunny. And Mac is an inspiration. I haven't seen the latest series. I do need to do that one now. You finally made it out of the bar. Well, only because it's dry now, Up. Are you not on the Starship, Pluto? You should be on the Starship. Well, have you joined the Patreon? Let me check. Would I recognise the name that you're on there under? So it pulls your information from Patreon. So you have to be on there, and then it pulls it all in. I feel like I've seen your name on here. Where are we? I can't see. You have to let us know what are you on under on the Patreon under there. Give me a clue. You don't have to type your full email, but give me a clue of what it would be, and I'll see if you're on the list and see if there is a problem that needs to be fixed. Don't tell everyone me and V have drained the bar again. We're gonna have to start rationing on board the ship. Pluto Mac, is that you there? Or Pluto Mac, Mr. Mac, are you as Mr. Mac on the ship? If you're Mr. Mac, I can find you somewhere. So, if you're Mr. Mac and it's not somebody else, you're here on the cargo bay at the minute. Ah, there we go. There you are, Pluto. It's the silly thing. I can't, unless it's exactly. I get it round the wrong way. There. Can you spot yourselves, guys? Tubers, can you see yourself over on the Starship? Where are we? There. Too many. There's a lot. There's a lot. And I have the memory of a goldfish. And now I've got to fix the tracking. That'll be tonight's job after the stream. See if I can improve it based on what we've learned for today's run through. But I can stop the recording because I don't need any more footage now. We're not getting any movement there. And what's that? Is Starship Alan travelling at light speed? And what is the speed currently? Currently it's about 4 miles an hour. It's not going fast at all. Alan's taken his eye off the ball. So Alan has decided that he doesn't want the responsibility of being captain. He wants to focus exclusively on probing, really. Spends most of his time probing, so he's delegated the responsibility of captain and commander and lieutenant now to our top 3 gifters. We'll be resetting that based on this month's results, and that'll be at the end of the month. We'll do that changeover as well there. And my personal belief is that we're in a nano-organic containment planetarium there, located in an aqua environment. There is an account of them cracking open to find light behind it. And a massive eyes. Oh, okay. I mean, I could probably, at the minute, get more behind that because, like, that there is some sort of active shenanigan going. Because I think where I find it difficult, and this might be like a misrepresentation or a misunderstanding of the theory, but like replacing all of the stellar mechanics and things that's going on, and then making it a much smaller thing. That's where I fall off. But if you're saying that other stuff could be going on, might be, might not be, but what we're experiencing is like a much smaller level. We're not seeing beyond this because there's some shenanigans afoot. Then I could kind of see that, you know, because there is something else to discover beyond it there. How fast did it need to travel 1 astronomical unit? In how long? It'll travel there just very slowly at the minute. And I would be running away if I saw a pair of large eyes. Nope, yeah. Just like big eye coming down and you go, humans? Oh, shit. And if so, why? I could think about the, the simulation theory. I could understand why an advanced civilization would want to simulate the universe. That's fine. But why would a physically larger organism want to have a little biosphere of us? Like, are we miniature versions of them? Are we their sea monkeys? I mean, I'm curious. Oh, was that a little shooting star there? It was down here. Oh, you might have seen it, guys. You might have seen it on there. The big eyes are following you way up. I'm gonna keep hitting this remote. Is this gonna work? Come on. Why are you not connecting tonight? Come on. Can we go that way? That's really not having it tonight. Hopefully it'll fix itself. Going to be having dreams about giant eyes now. Oh, well, that was it. I was listening. If any of you guys ever heard of sea lightning? Ever heard of that? Lightning in the sea. It was apparently, and this is the first time I'd ever heard of it. Could have been all bull. But it's an interesting little video on it, and it was apparently the ancient Polynesians kind of noticed this phenomenon. It might be how they managed to find all of those tiny little islands out in the massive Pacific Ocean there. Because if you think of the ancient navigational technique and using stars to do that, it would have been like a needle in a haystack 1,000 times over. So it's always been a bit of a curiosity how they managed to populate all of those tiny islands. But yeah, apparently this phenomena they talk, is it Tealupa they call it? It's one of their languages. But basically that the islands for some reason give off basically lightning, and you can see it under the water. These streaks, almost like a lightning strike going through under the water, and yeah, the faster it is, the further away you are, or something like that. But they within 120 miles of an island, basically, and that's how they probably found all of the islands. And some people, some scientists went over there in the 70s to have a look at this, and then in the 90s, and a few Western scientists have seen it and have experienced it. But it's one of those really, really rare phenomena that mainstream science is just like, nah, it's bollocks. We ain't seen it before. But yeah, also we spend so little time looking there. But it reminded me of the Earth lights phenomena. So ball lightning and things like that. It's been reported that they'll see the strange lights, the orbs in the sky over land just before an earthquake, or around the time of an earthquake there. And people report it for a very, very long time, but geologists said bollocks, basically. And yeah, we don't believe it. In fact, I think on the US Geological Survey, their website, it still says that it's folklore and myth. But we have actually proved it now with satellite imagery. We've been able to image this phenomena from space and record it now. So it has actually been proven. It's another one of the cases of science going, no, well, we've not seen it, so it's not true. But the problem is, with science, if you don't look, then you're not going to see there. Yeah, run away. I would, from the big eyes. My phone was ringing, and it was my missus. And I went into her other room, and she said she wasn't ringing me. I thought it was the aliens trying to contact me with her number. Well, anomalous calls have happened. Part of the phenomena that happened in this little town did involve phones being calls from aliens, apparently. It's all part of it, so it has been known there. And maybe we are bacteria living on a molecule. Reminds me of the Men in Black ending, when it zooms out and we're our galaxy is in a charm, a pendant around a cat, and as above, so below. These things tend to scale, don't they? The distribution of matter and mass in the galaxies is the same as neurons in the brain, or something along those lines. So maybe it does fit in a lot of ways. It's very spooky there. And Nat Geo showed curving lakes. The line has disappeared as they moved further away due to the Earth curvature, and the auto was blocking your view. Geometric Earth curve. But you can see land beyond it. Was the land higher, though? Was it like mountains? Was it hills? I don't know. That would be my question. The skies have quietened down now, guys. We'll be winding up for 11 PM tonight. You know what? Oh. Hello? Yep. Sorry, Jolly was right. The Earth is flat. Sorry. I just got the red phone call. It's confirmed it. We hadn't used it tonight. I had to cram it in there before the stream ended there. It's gone very quiet now. Now, a lot of what we are going to see, or when we do see that movement, is, if you think, here goes my little microphone Earth example. This is the Earth here, and you've got the sun pointing down on the surface here, and the sun goes round. It gets dark on the surface, as we all know. That is night and day. Now, as it's only just gone round, so it's only just dark for us, the things that are, in low Earth orbit there, they've still got a direct line of sight to the sun, because it's not gone fully round. So they still reflect that light back to us, and that is what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing all of that movement. Now, that movement is there now. We just can't see it because the sun has now gone further around, so it doesn't reflect that off. So we'll only see movement of things that are either emitting light themselves, which satellites don't do, or of satellites that are so far out they still have that line of sight with the sun. But then if they're that far out, they're going to be relatively smaller, so we probably wouldn't see them anyway. So it makes anything we do see now even more interesting. Now, good night, Beer Buster. Thank you for joining us as always. Good to see you in there. Kat, I see you sneaking up in the little list of people I've got in here. How are you? How is baby? You can't hide there quietly. You've just caught us before we're logging off. It was busier earlier. We had lots of activity in the night sky. Where I wonder if a size is relative. We are literally like a bacterium to them. But over several days, they recorded the cracks. They stopped to change the reel, and it went back to normal. Interesting. I mean, look, I'd like to see some of this stuff actually, but I do need literal like a direct link, because otherwise I would just totally forget. But that, yeah, it could be interesting. And you know, the relativity of size. I mean, if time is relative and space-time is linked, space and time is one, why wouldn't there be a relativistic angle to size as well, to space basically? So maybe you're onto something there with that one. And there. She's moaning at me so I didn't talk. She's moaning because you're not talking. She's saying, Mum, you've got to participate in the stream community or you won't get your little gifter badge. Hello. How are you both? Is she saying words yet? She's saying leet. It's almost Thursday, Harker. Oh. Kat is one of my oldest friends. Many a misspent evening of youth drinking in fields, eh, Kat? And now you're all grown up with a baby. Surviving, and she eats food now. Well done. You got that far. The best times. The best of times. The worst of times. No, they were pretty fun. Misspent hours there. But yeah, congratulations, you've got to food. There we go. Job done now. You just hand her off to Andrew. You've done your bit. You can get back to your gaming. And Kat, have you purchased, baby, an Alan soft toy? Because she needs one. I'll have to get her one. I think they're child safe. I better check. Let's have a look there. Can you contact Artemis with that phone? I can, Jolly, I can. And who built those large doors? Why? Must have been for the ancient aliens. Hold on. I've got the answer. Hold on. Yep. It wasn't for the ancient aliens, Jolly. It was just because Gerald Isaacman's ears are so big, so they needed really, really big doors. So there we go. But it's not RGB though, Kat. You've probably bred it in. It's a genetic requirement now for your lineage there. Everything must be RGB. Oh, and we're at 11 o'clock. So we're going to... Oh, and we're getting some wisps of cloud come over. So that is perfect timing. There. I was just trying to think, Kat, if I even knew your address to post you one. Like that used to be ingrained into me. So, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to pack away now. But, yeah, we're going to pack away. We'll be on tomorrow. Let's have a look. What is the weather forecast for tomorrow? Thursday there, mostly cloudy. Well, we'll see if it sorts its shit out. Friday's now rain, so maybe it won't. But Saturday is looking phenomenal for a Skywatch. So if we are on tomorrow, we will be doing an alien radio signal hunt there if it is too cloudy for a Skywatch. So keep your eyes to the skies, guys, and we'll see you all then. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your awesome questions. Your chatting there and your support as always there. I'll go sort her out. Okay, Kat. I'm sure I can figure it out as well. But have a good night there as well. You there and everybody else. Guys, thank you very much once again for joining us. And we will, catch you all on the flip side. Bye-bye. Who destroyed the